Because the world is a tough place, and the world will beat you down if you allow it to. Every day, everywhere you go, everyone you're exposed to is constantly telling you their negative stories. And if you allow those in, it will start to eat at you. You know, I like to think about growing up in New York. Those of you that don't know, I'm from New York. And up there, when you drive your truck in the wintertime, you can have the most beautiful, gleaming, white, brilliant, beautiful vehicle. And by about mid-December, it is filthy, dirty, covered in muck. Let the snow and the sand and the ice and the salt get all over your truck, and it starts to get darker and dingier and filthy. And by the time the spring rolls around, you can't even recognize your vehicle anymore. But get one nice, beautiful, sunny day in New York, and the first place everybody goes to is the car wash because they want to get that garbage off. You know what? So many of us walk around with that road grime all over us, and we don't even realize it. We've got the dirt, we've got the snow, we've got the salt, we've got the grime. We've got everybody else's garbage piled on top of us because we allowed it. How many times have you let someone take away your dreams? How many times have you let someone tell you it's not possible? How many times have you let someone tell you there's no way you can do that? How many times have you let someone else's failure influence your decision? We all have dreams, but most of us lose them. If you look at a little child, the world is limitless. The possibilities are endless. The idea that they could do anything is completely normal to them. They can go to the moon. They can fly a spaceship. They can build a ship. Anything that they can conceptualize, they believe to be possible. But yet we as adults have a tendency to tell them, oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's not possible. Oh, you'll never do that. You'll never fly to space. You're not able to do that job. You can't have that. We are not the kind of family that gets to do those things. See, if we start putting those things onto children around us, we start to realize that somebody else may have put those things onto us, and we're doing it in turn. It's kind of like gossip. I got sucked into it a little bit earlier, and I am just as guilty as everyone else. Boy, somebody says something negative, and I'm like, yeah, let me get in there. And then you stop and you go, I just did that, didn't I? I just got sucked into doing something that I am so against, but you know what? It hits a core. It hits that core, and it just comes out, because sometimes you hit a nerve and you just fall into it. But we have to rise above that. We have to be better, because in order for us to lead our communities toward a better way of life, we have to be the shining example. I truly believe that every one of you in this room is a diamond. Some of you are just covered in grime. Some of you have that road slick, that mud, that dirt, that sand, that salt, that gravel stuck to you, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that it's as simple as going through the car wash and getting that garbage off of you. But in the meantime, you'll carry that baggage around. You know, I don't watch TV, but one of my patients asked me to watch a show one time. They brought in a little clip of a video, and I don't know what the show was. It's about people losing weight. And the people had lost so much weight, and midway through the show, the fitness trainers gave them a backpack that was loaded with the same amount of weight that they had lost. It was about 50 pounds for some people, 70 pounds for some people. There was one guy that had lost 100 pounds. And they strapped that backpack on. And then they had them run the same workout that they had been working on for months. And just an hour before, they ran through this obstacle course with no problem. But as soon as they strapped that backpack on with the excess weight that they used to carry with them all day everywhere they went, they couldn't complete the obstacle course. It didn't just slow them down, it prevented them from completing it at all. Some of you guys have that backpack strapped on you. And you're looking at the world and saying, woe is me, life is tough, but you don't know. My community's different. Nobody gets chiropractic where I'm at. You don't understand. I'm not near life. People don't understand this. That's not true. That's just an excuse that you've let someone put on your back. And you're carrying it around, and now you own that. There's no reason for it. You are perfect. You are made in the image and likeness of perfection. You are a diamond. And you got to remember that. Because if you walk around carrying all that garbage on you, you'll never truly shine. You know, Sharon always talks about the husks. Why do you come back? Because you got to peel off the husks. I've always looked at it as an onion. And to me, an onion, if you've ever opened up an onion to the very center, the very core, it is perfect. It is sweet. It's not strong and pungent like the rest of the onion. It is perfect and sweet. But in order to get to that center of the onion, you got to peel off layer after layer. And when you start peeling off that grime, you know what happens as you start to open that onion? What happens? It smells. What's that going to make you do? It's going to make you cry. You know what? There's a better way to do that. The way we do it, and I'm going to do it back here because I don't want to make a mess all over our beautiful stage. The way we do that, it's the Italian way. You get those onions together. And when you start working on top of each other, you start grinding that garbage off of you. And the more you grind it, the more you come back, you pull that bag open. There's your onion. You can get that garbage off of you right here this weekend. It's why we're here. It's why we come back. It's why we invite you to join us every time. It's why we have social time built in to this event. Because when you start rubbing your onion against someone else's and you get that grime off of you, you get that thick skin full of garbage off of you, you start letting go of the weight that has been holding you down. I'm telling you something, you are going to rise up. You will begin to float up like as if someone cut the cord to your hot air balloon and man, that sucker's just going to take off. But if you don't, if you go back into the world and you forget about what you learned here and you try to do it on your own every day, day in, day out, with the grind against conventional thinking out there, continuously bombarding your community with images and messages about their inadequacies, then pretty soon that onion skin's going to start coming back on. That weight's going to come back on. That road grime is going to get back on your beautiful car. And you're going to start to be weighed down again. And you won't realize it because it's a slow fade. It doesn't happen overnight. That garbage didn't pile on you in one shot. That garbage came on you little by little by little. And it's a slow fade. You don't realize when you're starting to slip. But before long, you're out of the game. You're back to talking about how your community doesn't get it. It's everybody else's fault, but I'm here to tell you, it ain't nobody else's fault but mine and yours. I say me first because I'm just as guilty. It is nobody else's fault. If your practice is not where you expect it to be at this point in your career, it is your fault. If your financial situation is not where you expect it to be, it is your fault. If your relationships are not where you expect them to be, it is your fault. But by taking the fault, I'm not trying to blame you. I'm trying to make you claim you. By taking the fault, you enable yourself to make the correction. You see, if I walk around thinking that it's everybody else's fault, then it's out of my hands and I can't fix it. But the minute I take ownership, the minute you take ownership, the minute you acknowledge that you had a hand in whatever situation you currently find yourself in, then you enable yourself and empower yourself to make the decision, to make the change, to become the person that you know that you can become. We all have it within us. Every one of us is capable of greatness. Every one of us is capable of more than you ever thought possible. You got to let it go. You got to let go of whatever it is that's holding you back, holding you down, stopping you from living your dream. And if you're already successful, you're already happy, I got news for you. There's another level out there. Because there's always somebody better, there's always somebody brighter, there's always somebody smarter, there's always another ladder higher that you can come. There is always more that you can be. There's always more that you can do, and there's always more that you can have. We get that confused, though. We get lost in that. We get that out of order all too often in our society because we are a quick fix society. You want a new car, you go out, you finance it, whether you can pay for it or not. You want a new house, you look at the monthly payment, decide if you can afford that, and you go for it. Instead of looking at it and saying, let me start from the beginning and be the person that I need to be, who will do the things that need to be done in order to have the life that I want to have. We get that backwards all too often. And when we get that backwards in our office, our patients stop coming in. When we get that backwards in our relationships, our love starts to crumble. God forbid we get that backwards with our children get lost, and we won't find them again. They will go down a path of no return. You got an opportunity every single morning to change the way you're doing things. You have an opportunity this weekend to meet with, rub shoulders, and get to know some of the best and brightest in this profession who are willing to mentor you, help you, train you, give you that little shift that may be all it takes for you to go back Monday morning and serve your community on a greater level. You've got to be willing to accept that. You've got to be willing to open yourself up. Are you willing to rub your skin against somebody else's skin and grind off some of that dirt that is accumulated on top of you from all the negativity you've been exposed to? Are you willing to do that? I mean, you make that decision. You can come here and have a great time for the weekend and leave on a happy high note and go right back to doing the same thing Monday. Or you can make a decision that I'm going to let something that I heard this weekend sink in and create the change that I need so that I can become the person that I know I'm capable of being. And when I become that person, I will start to do the things that I know I should have been doing all along and I need to start doing now. And I promise you, when you start being that person and doing those things, you will have the life that you've always dreamed about. Don't get that wrong. Don't get that wrong. Because when you go in that backwards mindset of the have, do, be, it always ends up empty. Loss, debt, failure, disappointment, heartbreak. That's not who we are. That's not who any of you are. You are perfect. You are that diamond. And if you can get this right, if you can take the time this weekend to shed those husks, peel off that onion skin, get rid of that road grime, and open yourself up to just be a vessel to receive from the speakers that we have all weekend long, to watch the people you admire, how they carry themselves, who they talk to, the conversations that they have, the way that they move and talk, you will learn so much more than opening any book will ever do for you. Success leaves clues. It does. You don't have to go home and reinvent the wheel. You don't have to go home and throw out all your policies and procedures and try to start over from square one. You need to find a few nuggets this weekend, just a few. And if you find a few nuggets and you implement them and you start working those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by the end of the month, they become habit. By the time you come back here for the next Life Vision, those little nuggets are such a habit to you, you may have even forgot that you picked them up here. And then be ready to pick up some more. And each time you do that, each time you open yourself up to becoming so much more than you ever thought possible, you rise up. And when you rise up, your patients rise up. Your family members rise up. The people in your community start to rise up. We've always been taught that a rising tide lifts all boats. In this room, there are people here who are willing to lift you up, to help you up, to mentor you, to talk to you, to listen to you, because sometimes that's all you need is just to be heard. But don't make the mistake I made earlier today. Don't get sucked into some of those conversations that we know in our heart we should not be having. Instead, just smile, nod, and forgive the person who made the mistake of having that conversation in the first place and sucked you into it, and step above it. Your community needs you to do that. Your community needs you to be better. Your community is dependent on you to be their leader. And your community is dependent on you to be the one to set that shining example, to free that beautiful, sparkling, perfect diamond that is within each one of you, so that they have a beacon of light that they can follow.